Hello and welcome to my week 2 2024 art fight. Hey, where did you all come from? How did you all find me? How did I get so many art fight attacks since the last video, and how am I supposed to keep up and revenge you all like this? Which actually, I am super grateful for the overwhelming support. I'm absolutely blown away, but I will save the gushing over the attacks I received this week for later, because we have 3 more pieces to get to the speed draws of first, so let's jump into that. All of my attacks this week were revenges and friendly fires, and I have a feeling that this will probably be the case for pretty much all the rest of July, because truly if the rate at which I get attacks is going to keep up at this pace, boy, is my wrist in for just the most fun little treat. But my first drawing is a revenge for FarewellFox, who drew an incredible Lalaliet blood from my lineup that I showed at the end of my week 1 recap video. So I decided to draw a strong girl in return. And just a heads up, if you're looking for some strong D&D inspired girls to draw, FarewellFox's page has a really beautiful collection that you can choose from. The character I decided to go with is Talon. Talon is a half-orc who is a stubborn and fierce protector of the equally stubborn and fierce leader of the town, Serona. Serona doesn't really need protection, but this doesn't stop Talon from taking the task very seriously at any rate. When Talon is not protecting the people and things that she loves, she can be found enjoying the comforts of the local tavern, dancing in the warm glow of the torchlight, resting in the company of friends, and on a particularly good day, she might even sing, though you wouldn't want to count on her being on key. I really waffled a lot between drawing Talon and Serona in particular because they both have such fun character designs, but I ended up going with Talon in the end for a lot of reasons, but most of all because someone else beat me to drawing Serona. And I don't know if any of the rest of y'all are like this, but I always try to draw a character that hasn't been drawn yet, or a character that hasn't been drawn as often. I mean, it's still pretty early in the game, so it's hard to tell which characters will be the most popular, and also people are definitely probably still going off of bookmark list at this point, but I mean, even in my own character lists, I am always surprised at which characters get art made of them early on in the season. Also, yes, I did panic and I very suddenly changed the tunic from a light blue to an orange. I was really struggling with the color choices in the outfit design for no good reason. I'm very happy with the orange color that I ended up with. I think it really suits the down-to-earth or warm vibe that I get from the character description of Talon, but low-key, the amount of stress that I was having when it came to color choice of the tunic was absolutely unnecessary. In hindsight, the blue was very pretty too. This is kind of one of the unfortunate sides of being able to rewatch my entire process, or at least most of the process, because apparently I just will never not forget to turn the screen record back on. But I do have every once in a while a moment where I go, oh darn, that was actually good and I shouldn't have adjusted the color, or oh no, I wish I had kept that detail from the original sketch instead of erasing it and forgetting about it. But you know what, I do like the orange on Talon a lot, and in general, I'm a sucker for drawing art fight characters in new outfits anyways. But I think that's enough about what I do change whenever trying to translate a character design. Let's talk about what I tried my best to keep from the original design. Starting at the literal top, I had to keep the very cool braid with the shaved sides. Instead of doing 1 thick braid, I chose to do 4 braids, 2 small and 2 big, just because I am a fellow hair haver and braid wearer, and you know what, it's fun to switch things up every once in a while. Also, since fur is pretty heavily featured in the original drawing, I wanted to put fur in my drawing as well, so I have fur under the bracers and fur over the shoulder, just like FarewellFox did. If you have the patience to add fur or a similarly fluffy aspect in your character designs, it's a nice way to add dimension and texture, and honestly, I very rarely have the patience for it. We'll take the time to do it if it's for the joy of somebody else. I really wanted the whole vibe of this drawing to be you messed with Serona, now omae wo mo shinderu, but instead of being like casually threatening, I think the drawing kind of just came across as casual. But you know what, warm strong vibes for a warm strong girl, and very suddenly we are already at the end of drawing number 1 for this week of Art Fight. Talon as some strong girl revenge, FarewellFox. Thank you so much, FarewellFox, for letting me draw such a just delightful character. I highly recommend you check out FarewellFox's links, especially if you're looking for some good D&D style characters to draw, ladies or otherwise. There are some very, very fun ones in the collection. Please do check them out. But on to our next fun and funky fresh character. I do tend to draw humanoid characters, and I mean this is technically not an exception to this rule, but ARTFIGHT is a fantastic chance to push yourself a little bit, and with that in mind, I bring you Lalaliet's character, Nezabutka. Nezabutka is a shapeshifter, and I am obsessed with all of the forms that Lalaliet drew for them. The little bunny with the bow is everything to me. Nezabutka spent most of their early life in the forest, but was eventually found and adopted. They take on many different appearances, but the most common form they wear is one of a little androgynous child that goes by the name Nesha. I was very seriously thinking about drawing Nesha as one of their more normal humanoid forms, but every year I try to draw at least one kind of more creature-y sort of character design, and also I'm just a sucker for a lot of the character design aspects that Lalaliet gave to Nezabutka, namely fun wing shapes, extra long limbs, and a unique eye. Nezabutka's pupil is in the shape of a little violet blue flower, and if you are like me and you don't know Cyrillic languages just offhand, you might miss Lalaliet's detail in naming this character. Nezabutka is the name of a little violet blue flower that I at least know more familiarly under the English translation Forget-Me-Not. And I don't know how intentional it was, because I think I might be looking a little too deep into things, but Forget-Me-Nots often symbolize an eternal and enduring faithfulness, and Lalaliet makes the note that Nezabutka can be very determined and spiteful if they think they've been wronged. And I wanted to mash together the significance of the flower, the concept of faithfulness, and also the feeling of spite. So in my mind, while drawing Nezabutka, I wanted to evoke a sense of something beautiful and almost angelic, sort of juxtaposed with something haunting that can see you plainly and honestly as you are. And that concept of drawing hauntingly pretty characters is not really my usual art subject, and to complicate things more, doing a piece in such a limited color palette is a little bit out of my comfort zone, so I was looking in two places specifically for inspiration. Number one, which will forever and always be one of my favorite art pieces and subjects that people use for lighting and color studies, is Dark Sun Gwendolyn of the Dark Souls franchise. And as a second source of art inspiration and color theory in much more recent days, a particular delicious in dungeon or dungeon meshy character that I've seen a lot of really beautiful art of recently that I am not going to name because that is serious spoilers for some much more recent media. Because Nezabutka ended up being much warmer in colors than I intended, I for a very brief moment considered that this piece would look really striking with a red background. And I'm not going to lie, I did try it out. It does look pretty good, but I decided to stick with the blue. If you don't think a plain solid color background will change the whole vibe of a picture, you would be wrong. The red made the whole piece feel very vengeful in a sort of hot anger way, and Nezabutka strikes me as a person with a more scary, cool sort of anger where you know that they're totally justified in their feelings. And to really make a point of justified anger, I added a glowing gold halo in the final composition. And also, Nezabutka is putting out big, biblically accurate angel energy, and I like that in a subject matter. Before I run out of time in the speed draw, this is a revenge piece in return for this incredible Calliope art that I talked about in my last video, but Lalaliet also did a second equally gorgeous drawing of another one of my characters that you will see at the end of the video. But speaking of ends, that brings us to the end of our second drawing of the second week of ARTFIGHT. Lalaliet has a truly incredible art style. I am honored to be on the receiving end of not just one but two pieces of her work. If you are looking for some pretty girls or some simultaneously haunting and beautiful character designs to try drawing this ARTFIGHT season, I highly recommend going to check out Lalaliet's work. Actually, you know what, go check out her work anyways. All of the artists, all of the links, click on all of them, just all of them. Alright, so now it's time for my last revenge, which is actually my first friendly fire of the season, for hiraelith, whose art attack was not featured in last week's video, but it will be in the montage at the end of this video. If you've been keeping an eye on my ARTFIGHT account and noticing my lack of activity on literally every other social media platform, you might have noticed me front-loading a lot of my art for the week. This is because I will be away for a little while, and my art setup is not particularly portable. And by not particularly, I mean not at all. The cool thing is that I can upload videos in advance and have them at a scheduled release. The slightly less cool thing is that I might get some attacks while I'm away that won't be featured in this week's video. So I apologize that there will be a little bit of a time delay, but I promise you that whenever I get back from the travels, I am going to be back revenging the art pieces and having hopefully relatively up-to-date attack montages at the ends of my videos. With the addition of hiraelith's character Faye to the trio that I've made this week, I think we've really collected all the character types that are my favorites into one video. We have a warm-hearted strong lady played by Talon, we have the little creature played by Nezabudka, and last but certainly not least, Faye, who brings us the character of Hot Lady, and not only Hot Lady, but strawberry pink themed Hot Lady. Of hiraelith's many gorgeous characters, I chose to draw Faye specifically because it just felt like a good equivalent exchange for the art of Calliope. Faye and Calliope are built off of a very similar premise. Calliope is a strawberry cow and Faye is a strawberry moon. They both wear a lot of pink and they both have vitiligo traits. Calliope's is because, well, dairy cows have spots, so it felt like it suited my cow themed character to have similar skin tone variation. Faye has spots because hiraelith wanted to match the dappling that can be seen on our moon. And hiraelith also mentioned that the marks on Faye's skin sometimes changes, maybe not fully disappearing, but getting smaller or larger or changing shape over time, just like the moon. Which, when I submitted my drawing of Faye, I apologized for taking creative liberties with the little skin changes, especially since the outfit I decided to put Faye in showed a lot more skin than in the original references. You know, I just decided to have fun with the spots, and hiraelith was so kind and told me that my creative liberty choices were okay and suit the character well, so that was very sweet of her to do. In all the ways that Faye is like Calliope, they are also pretty different from each other. Faye is the embodiment of royalty and she thrives on it. Faye loves to be worshipped, and Faye also loves to spend time just admiring and indulging in art. And nobody tell Faye that I told you all this, but as a result of her color palette, she's unfortunately mistaken by some as a goddess of the sun instead of the goddess of the moon, and she is not particularly fond of people making this error. I think most of the time spent in this drawing was dedicated to the details of the outfit. All the little pearls on the dark blue dress, the gold chains, the sheer sleeves over the pink gloves. I did try to make a distinct line under her sleeves to indicate she is wearing pink silk upper length gloves. She's wearing gloves in all of her reference pictures, so I wanted to at least try to be a little consistent with the outfit I was designing, but I do think because they are so close to her skin tone, they kind of read as ungloved hands, but you know what? It is what it is. We know you're here, so we know what's going on. Another consistency between the outfits besides the general color palette is the necklace she has. Faye is wearing a necklace of 5 pearls or opals, or a similarly white iridescent looking gemstone, and I know she has a crown too, which is so pretty and definitely so fit for royalty, but for some reason in particular, the necklace specifically stood out to me. It is such a simple but elegant and effective design, and I think Faye should not be seen without this necklace. But with that, we close out on our last design for week 2 of ARTFIGHT 2024. Behold, Faye, Our Lady of the Strawberry Moon. Thank you so much to hiraelith for allowing me to indulge in your very beautiful strawberry character. And Faye is not the only beautiful character that hiraelith has featured on her page. Honestly, they're all just romance novel protagonist beautiful characters. I highly recommend having a good look at hiraelith's art, not just on ARTFIGHT, but also on Toy House, Instagram, and Twitter. As always, all the links will be exactly where you expect them to be in the description. Oh, but look at all of them. Oh, I love this group of fantastic characters with all my heart. I feel like I'm making accidental D&D parties every time I compile all the ARTFIGHT characters I drew into one image. But of course, thank you to all 3 of the artists for such cool character designs, and also for allowing me to share them and my love of them with everyone else. But as we all know, the end of this video has been reserved, not for gushing over my art, but you guys' art. So, the first scrumptious art piece that I bring is none other than hiraelith's Calliope drawing. Everything about this image is so fairy tale, so romantic, it's so cute. I love everything about it. I know I've said it before, but I'm always so thrilled at people's attention to detail when it comes to Calliope's skin. And would you believe hiraelith had the audacity to say, "Oh, it's just a sketch," when submitting this. Girl, I am deceased. But seriously, thank you so much. This is gorgeous. Next, we have an insane Cleo Blood Mage piece from a very long time supporter of this channel, DragonDoodle78. Andy has been here for years and they still want to make art for me and watch my videos, which is so heartwarming. But seriously, the dynamic pose, the movement, the depth, honestly, the background alone, I love card backgrounds like this so much. So much work and love clearly went into this. I cannot thank you enough for both the character love and the general support that you give me. And just to keep the Cleo train rolling, we have another piece from Lalaliet. She anticipated my revenge before I even finished it. Can you believe it? The shapes in this Cleo piece are so good. The colors as well. I love how the dark blue coolness of everything in the image causes the blood magic to look so striking. Lalaliet back at it again with a piece that just makes me scream in a good way, obviously. Thank you so much for more art. I will be staring at all of these gorgeous pieces that you have given me probably forever. Next we have my trio, hiraelith, Ezra, and isagwen. SpaghettiBete made me an even better revenge piece in exchange for Bearjack, which I spent the entire last video mispronouncing his name because I am consistent in the fact that I keep forgetting to ask people for character name pronunciations like a fool. But more importantly, SpaghettiBete, I love this art piece. I love all three of my girls, but I know SpaghettiBete shares a soft spot with me in watching Ezra embrace her femininity. In this picture alone, between the three girls, there's so much personality. The way that they hold their cups, the clothes that they're wearing, the expressions that they're making. It is so cute. It's so heartwarming. Thank you so much. BRB, gonna cry. Now, this is a super special piece from IronDuck. IronDuck drew hiraelith last year for me, and this is the first time I've ever received a physical craft as an attack during ARTFIGHT. IronDuck made a Calliope color changing potion with pink and gold wax and little stamped hearts. It is so pretty. IronDuck was also so kind to reach out and send me videos of the potion swirl. I'm so mesmerized by the videos. I'm a simple woman. I am so easily entertained. Thank you so much, IronDuck, for such a special friendly fire. And now it's time for something that shocked me. It is time for a Fing montage. The first Fing that came in over the weekend is from Happyflopsie, co-creator of the character Bearjack with SpaghettiBete from my last video. I love the facing the sunlight head on from the little golden kobold. It's so sweet. This is Happyflopsie's first ARTFIGHT year. They have made so much art over the last 2 weeks, and I am so very honored to have a place among all of those art pieces. Thank you so much, Happyflopsie. I love this so much. The next Fing is from Amelyanna. The piece was titled Kobold, 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 which I just like that a lot. Amelyanna has their own kobold character, so they really know how to capture the chaotic energy that comes from those little guys. I am obsessed with the way that the line art is colored and the shading in this piece. I also love how it perfectly embodies the, well, his heart is in the right place vibe. Thank you so much, Amelyanna. Also, PSA, if you have the chance to stop by their page, please look at their kobold because he is so cool. The third Fing I received over the weekend was from Sheepdundee, who took a chance on Fing even though they don't usually draw anthro creatures for ARTFIGHT, so I really appreciate that. I love how warm the colors are in this piece, and the little heart-shaped eye shine is so cute. And I know it's just like a background detail or whatever, but I'm a huge fan of the cactus too. Both Fing and the background cactus have all of my love. Thank you so much, Sheepdundee, for making Fing art for me. And the last Fing of this week's morphing montage is from Just a Gremlin. Honestly, I am so impressed with this. Kobold anatomy eludes me to no end, so to see someone else be able to just produce kobold drawings without any difficulties is always amazing to me. Also, I would like to yet again point out another example of exquisite attention to details. Just a Gremlin replicated the way that I write Fing's name with the capital N in the middle and the circle dotted I. So thank you to Just a Gremlin. Also, they also have a kobold that they described as Dungeon Meshy Chillchuck, but a kobold. Go look. But oh, we have made it to the end of week 2 of ARTFIGHT 2024. Yeah, y'all are insane. Thank you for being insane, because I'm not sure what happened to week 1 and why YouTube decided that it liked the video, but thank you all so much for the support and the follows. It really means a lot. It boost my confidence hugely. As of recording this, I gained over 60 subscribers from just that video. So welcome to the family, and rest assured that over the break I may not be making art, but I am lurking to find my next victim. It could be anyone, it could be you, but who knows? Not me.